Hello. Hi. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about Jenna Marbles, the real reason she left. Oh, maybe, supposedly. I don't know, I just heard something about it last night that was interesting, that had me kind of go down a little bit of a rabbit hole, but then not really. It's more of a speculative piece. I'll probably talk about it for 5 minutes or something, I don't know. But it is interesting, so we've got some TikToks we're going to review regarding that. I'm going to talk about what I'm watching at the moment. I haven't really talked about any, like, shows that I've been watching. I think for a long time I just haven't really been using my spare time to watch TV. I usually work, to be honest. Yeah, most of like what I do at the moment is I wake up, well, bar a few weeks ago, what I was doing for a very long time was like wake up, have coffee and like protein bar, then check socials, do work on socials, my Redbubble stuff. Then I would start streaming and then work on the stream till like 1 o'clock. And then after 1 o'clock I would have lunch, have my like little lunch break. And then after my lunch break I would continue working. And I'd continue working till like 5 p.m. And then I would probably have... It depends on the day, actually. If it's drawing related, when I have to finish my drawing the very last day, like the deadline, it's due like every second Thursday, I would spend that day alone, no joke, working till like 8 p.m. Because I'm just... That's the plight of like being an artist, is that when you have a deadline and it's like it's due today, but you can like schedule it for the next day, whatever, right? The problem is that you look at every piece of your drawing and you're like, that doesn't look right, that doesn't look right, I could add here, I could add to this, and then it just snowballs into this really, really long thing that doesn't need to be, shouldn't be that long, right? I don't know, I'm rambling about whatever the fuck at the moment. But anyway, at the moment, as you can see, with that kind of schedule, I had no time to watch TV shows. I really didn't. Especially like 40-minute episodes. Please. Please. 40-minute episodes. I'd probably get like halfway through one and then have to finish the rest the next day. Which isn't like a great way to consume like a story, because especially I'm thinking in my mind about like Buffy, because man, a few months ago I was watching Buffy. I was trying to get through it. I think I might have finished season 1, or I'm really close to. And oh my god, I was into it, and that's the weird thing. I was into it. I was liking it, but yeah, I just couldn't find the time to actually watch it. But now that I'm sort of starting doing yoga again, I've kind of changed it up a bit. So now what my routine is looking like is that I wake up, I do yoga, and then while I'm excuse me, while I'm doing yoga, I watch a TV show, or I just put on an episode while I do it. And then I have my coffee, my protein bar, sitting on like the cat tower next to me. Because we don't have a coffee table. Yeah, we don't have a coffee table. We don't own one. Awesome. We use our cat towers as coffee towers, or side tables. Which is really awesome when one of them jumps on it and knocks your drink over. Not their fault, totally my fault. And so, like, now that I have this window in the morning to do yoga, because I've been finding like my back has been really sore lately, and I stopped doing yoga. I know, it's so bad. It's like I started doing the elliptical and then I just couldn't be bothered with yoga. So, started that back up again. Which is nice. I mean, I I enjoy yoga. I like it. There's some poses that really are just like, I do it because it does end up being like a nice feeling, but then in the process of doing it, you're like, oh, I hate this. That is specifically pigeon pose. Let me look it up. Yoga pigeon pose. Dude, I hate pigeon pose. Okay. We're gonna have some gooning content here. So basically it's, oh wait. Okay, for a second I was like, fuck, do I need to make sure there's no porn here? Because you know yoga. When it comes to yoga, you definitely need to have the porn filters on. Isn't that weird? Anyway, oh, that's nice. Yeah, I got these yoga blocks. Okay, I do this one, sort of. I actually fold my arms in front of my head. How to do, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Lengthen up through the spine on an inhale before hips square to front of mat. Back foot extends, okay. Completely relax. Find comfortable position for arms to rest. Flex through the front foot. Okay. Yeah, this is the one I do. This is the one I do. I like it. Like, it feels good to do. It's just, I have, I think my left leg struggles with this one in particular. And, you know, what I've been doing lately is I've been trying to train my hip flexors. So, yeah, I'm going through it at the moment, yeah. I don't know what it is, but I found out that my internal hip rotation, there's like pain with it. And it just doesn't feel good. And so I was looking up like, okay, why do I have like internal pain with like internal hip rotation? So yeah, I'm basically, I'm doing it. Yeah, because I just thought to myself, like, this just doesn't seem like normal. Like, I can be pretty flexible, but when it came to like the internal rotation of my hips, yeah, I was like, something doesn't feel right about that. So I've been working on it, and there's like some exercises you can do. There's like one where you get like a block and you try to like do that with your foot going over it like it's an obstacle. Okay. And you know, like for the longest time I always disregarded those TikToks I'd get being like, here's how to train your hip flexors. I thought like, my god, everyone was talking about hip flexors and how to train them and why you need to train them. And I kept thinking like, this must be like a new buzz thing, you know, like how everyone all of a sudden is so obsessed with like, I don't know, what's a health thing people are obsessed with, like chia seeds or some shit. Creatine. Like, okay, this is the next fucking creatine and chia seeds, I guess. Turns out I think they were right. But I'm still working on it. I think it's getting easier, but like the front of my thigh is like really sore at the moment. So yeah. I've also been, since doing the elliptical, I've been noticing that my quads, I guess, are a lot meatier. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I managed to reach my New Year's resolution, and my New Year's resolution was to get to 40 minutes on the elliptical, and I did it. 41 minutes, actually. So I've got to say I'm pretty proud of that. And yeah. I know, it's kind of like, talking about exercise and shit, it's like, how boring. Sorry about that. Oh my god. Well, what else am I up to? Yeah, so I guess like the yoga's good. Tick that off. Elliptical, that's good. I need to work out today though. I haven't been on the elliptical for a few days. But I'm just really enjoying it. You know what? I know, it's like talking about like the exercise that you're doing on a podcast, I feel like it's so boring to listen to, but I do want to just say like, oh my god, I'm totally not a sporty person. I've never been sporty. I've never been into like exercise or athletics really at all. Because I feel like I could never find something that was actually like fun to do, enjoyable. And so for a long time I relied pretty much mainly on just yoga and maybe going out for walks. So that, like, but I mean, walking can just be, I'm not gonna lie, doing the same route every single fucking day gets really fucking tiring. It gets really boring, and it's also a problem for me because when I go out and I walk, this is something I talk to my therapist about, but I have this problem where I don't like when people look at me. I hate crossing the road. So I'm a little bit spicy in the head for some reason. Yeah. And it's so dumb because, well, not, I'm not gonna say it's dumb. I'm not a dumb person, but it's also that if someone's driving a car, it's like, yeah, they're gonna notice me walking because, well, I'm like one of the only other bitches out here doing stuff. And also, like, it's important as a driver to be aware of your surroundings, aware of potential, you know, pedestrians and stuff. But I'm like, I just don't want to be looked at. Don't look at me. Oh, and then it's so awkward when you have to pass by other people. You have to, like, go out of your way to go out of their way. I don't like it. Also, I think there's a lot of drug people. I think there's some like sus people who hang out around where I walk, so yeah. And you know, sometimes it's the weather. I mean, my god, during summer, if I was to do walks during summer, please. Not gonna happen. 35-degree days back to back. There's no way. There's just no way. Ugh. It is a shame though, because like the summer, at least like in the summer, afternoon walks are pretty nice. Usually. But when you have those hot days back to back, it's just like there's never any cool down period, you know? So that's why I will shout from the rooftops, use the elliptical, use the elliptical. If you don't know what you like, get an elliptical. Because I don't like running. I used to do it actually. I used to run, but I found that I'd get like shin splints, or like my knees and my shins would hurt. And people always go like, oh, well that's like just kind of what happens, but then it's like, oh no, that's bad because you're running on concrete and you should run on a soft surface, or at least at first. And I'm like, I'm not running around on the grass because I don't know, that just feels like super lame to do. If running in general is embarrassing, so now it's like you want me to run around on the grass like I'm a fucking 10-year-old? Please. Yeah, I guess you'll notice from my rant that a lot of what I'm saying is rooted in not wanting to be embarrassing, because I already got enough embarrassment in high school from doing sports, so yeah, don't really want a repeat of that. But the elliptical, oh my god, I love the elliptical. I love it. It's perfect. It's like, it's a low impact exercise, so you can do it pretty much day after day and you're not going to be like weirdly sore afterwards. And like, because it's low impact, it's better on your joints and stuff, I guess. That's what I've been told anyway. And it's like the first time ever where I'm able to do like cardio. Well, actually, I did have a cardio, like an indoor cardio routine when I was getting ready for surgery years ago. When I knew that I was going for like an elective surgery, I prepared by doing cardio every single day. I'd do an hour of cardio. And I actually had a pretty nice routine that I could do inside. And it was good, actually. It was really good. Again, the problem with that thing is that you have to time everything. Like, you time, like, okay, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, timer, and then you have to remember the form of each thing that you're doing, because, oh my god, it was like a whole circuit and mixture of things, and yeah. Anyway, I have been ranting about exercise for a while, so TLDR, or TLDW, too late didn't watch, get an elliptical if you struggle with like getting cardio in. Anyway, so what am I watching at the moment? Well, that's a good question. So yeah, to go from the rant about Buffy that I was talking about like 10 minutes ago, I'm watching Peep Show at the moment, and it is so good. Oh my god. You don't know what Peep Show is, which you probably don't. I feel like Peep Show is kind of niche. It's like a British comedy. Let's see. Is it a sitcom? I don't. Is it? I was about to say shitcom. It kind of is a shitcom because it's this British TV show that it is a sitcom because sitcom stands for situational comedy, doesn't it? Yep. Either I made that up or that's true. And so it's 9 seasons long, and it's kind of centered around this POV style of recording, and it's the POV of these 2 roommates who live together, and one of them is kind of like an uptight banker or works in like loans for banks and stuff, and the other one is a freeloader. The other one's like a freeloader, drug addict, like loser, as they would say. They're both kind of losers in a way. And so, let me show you this one. So this is Peep Show. These are the 2 roommates. POV style comedy. It's really good. It's really good. Won 2 BAFTA awards. Are you serious? Huh. David Mitchell and Robert Webb McKee. Yeah. So Olivia Colman, yeah, she was in it for, I think for the first like, gosh, I want to say 6 seasons or something. It's really good. It's such a good show. It's like it's about like sex. It's about drugs. It's about just a lot of really weird stuff. And yeah, I found out that I am Mark Corrigan. I am pretty much just Mark Corrigan, which is sad. Yeah, I'm Mark Corrigan. How about that? I can't believe Olivia Colman's in it though. Ugh. Yeah, I love this show. And so I watch it every time I do yoga at the moment. And then Matt King. Who is this guy? He looks kind of familiar to me. What else is he in? Oh, he's in Bronson. What? I don't know. So this guy has such like a unique. He's in Rick and Morty. Oh my god, he's in Call of Duty. He's just voice. What else is he in? No, don't know that. End of the fucking world? Okay. Zombie Spring Breakers. Awesome. Paddington? Oh, it's funny that he's in Paddington because in Peep Show they refer to Matt. What is his name? David Mitchell looking like Paddington Bear. Funny thing about that. Oh, he's in the IT crowd. The IT crowd. Raymond Peterfellow. Who the fuck is Raymond Peterfellow? Yeah, this is a pretty good show. Are you sure? Raymond Peterfellow. He's a comedian. Okay. Nope, not coming up with anything. It must be a very minor character. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I just have to look this guy up. Maybe he's just in a lot of. Oh, he's in Skins. I need to watch Skins. He's in Call of Duty again. Oh my god, Doctor Who. Oh, he's in Doctor Who. Okay, who isn't in Doctor Who? Peter Street Doctor Who. Who isn't in Doctor Who? Oh my god. Okay, let's look. He plays Corpse. Peter Street, Doctor Who. Who the fuck is this? Native Earth Renaissance. Okay, Madman, Minion, Carrionites. Oh! Wait. I feel like I should remember this guy. He's in the Shakespeare episode? Huh. Okay, it's been a long time since I saw that. So yeah, I'm all up in the British comedy at the moment. It's good. Anyway, yeah, so Peep Show is fantastic. Won 2 BAFTA awards, allegedly. Who would have thought? Top rated. Okay, 1, 2 BAFTA awards. Yeah, it's so good. I don't know. Videos? Trailer? Ugh, I hope it's not too loud. Do I want to play the trailer? Where are you taking me? Is there a volume adjuster?
Depravity.
I got something up on my visual display unit, your sales record.
Oh, I need to sell a loan. Where's a good...
Oh, that's like... Whoa, that's like a trailer for like the last season. Okay. This guy is so good. When you see this guy, if you watch it and you see this guy, oh, every scene with him is like a treat. He's great. All the characters in the show are so unique, they're so interesting, and if you like something that's like raunchy, like ooh, sex and drugs, it's even got an 8.7 out of 10. So yeah, it's pretty good. Now, yeah, it's quite I'm not gonna say R-rated, but it's very you know, it's very in your face with it, but I like it. I think it's nice how mature it feels to watch, you know? I think that's what I'm trying to get at. It feels mature, it feels like it feels real in a way. And I think the way the 2 main characters play their characters, it feels like they're probably not too far off of them actual selves, or it feels like they've got a lot of inspiration from real life events or something. It's good to watch. 20-minute episodes too, so it's really not that big of a deal if you have a small window to watch stuff. Oh, it's so good. So many great moments. You've probably actually seen some clips from it. There's one where they're in a bus and they're talking about what they studied in college or university, and Jeremy's like, I thought you did study history, Mark. And then Mark looks at him and he's like, I studied business, Jeremy, for 3 years, and I talked to you about it daily. And then Jeremy's like, thinking to himself, I could tell him that's all ancient history now, but he wouldn't like that joke. And then he says, oh well, now that's all ancient history. And then Mark looks at him, and then Jeremy, like the camera pans from looking at Mark's face to looking outside the window of the bus. It's good. There's a lot of internal monologues or internal dialogue of like what they're thinking in moments, and it's really good. And like the fact that the show is like so interesting and it's really mainly based off of 2 people, it's just really good. I don't know what to say. Alright. I mean, it is one of those things though, I totally get it. Like, I'm recommending it, obviously, but I don't expect anyone to actually go and watch it because, man, I low-key kind of hate it when people recommend me things. It's nothing to do with like the people or what they're recommending, but I'm one of those people where if you recommend me something, I feel like I have such, my taste can be like all over the shop, to be honest. Like I don't feel like I fall into like specifically history shows, so then you can just recommend me whatever history show you've seen lately. To me, it's like I have very specific interests, and it's really difficult for people to recommend me things. It's also really difficult for me to get started on stuff. And I hate it because whenever I'm in the middle of watching something and I'm talking about it, people try to recommend me stuff that they're interested in, and it's like, that's great. I love that you're interested in something, I love that you're having a good time with something, but at the same time, I'm busy watching my thing, so I'm just gonna continue doing my thing, and then if I want to watch something afterwards, maybe, but probably not. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. I think I just don't like the pressure of, because a lot of the time when someone recommends you something, I feel like it comes with this weird social pressure where it's like, oh well, now I have to watch this, and it's like it becomes like a task where it's like, I have to watch this now, I have to start on it tonight. It's like homework. It's like homework for your friendship or something. And then people, there are a lot of people in my life where they've insisted, like, all the time, constantly, like, oh, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this, have you watched it yet, have you watched it yet? And it's this insistence. It's like, I get that it comes from a place of, like, they really enjoyed something, so they just really want to share their enjoyment with someone else. I totally get that. I don't, it doesn't motivate me, it actually demotivates me. It's weird. I've been hearing a lot about, I think it's called demand avoidance or something. Is it demand? Hold on, let me look it up. Autistic demand avoidance. Yeah, so I pretty much think that I'm autistic at this point. I'm at least somewhere on the spectrum, and there's this thing that I've noticed where it's called demand avoidance, or it's persistent, it's PDA. Not public displays of affection. Pathological demand avoidance. This is me. This is me. Demand avoidance involves not being able to do certain things at certain times, either for yourself or others. Excuse me. And also refers to the things we do in order to avoid demands. Okay, tell me more. It's a natural human trait. Avoiding demands is something we all do to different degrees and for different reasons. When demand avoidance is more significant, there can be many possible reasons for this. It could be situational, relate to physical or mental health, or relate to a developmental or personality condition. It's sometimes difficult to distinguish underlying causes, but a PDA profile isn't necessarily always the best explanation for extreme demand avoidance. Oh, extreme, okay. It's also important to remember that marked demand avoidance is most significant, but not the only trait. In a PDA profile. What? Why did they write it like this? Not the only, comma, trait in a... Ugh. Who wrote this? For a detailed exploration of other explanations for marked demand avoidance, please see Identifying and Assessing a PDA Profile. Practice guidance. Okay, whatever, blah blah blah. Autistic demand avoidance. Autistic people may avoid demands or situations that trigger anxiety or sensory overload, disrupt routines, involve transitioning from one activity to another, and activities/events they don't see the point of or have any interest in. I hate to say it, but like this reminds me of like showering. I shower, okay? I do. But I hate it. I hate showering. You see, I don't view showering as an activity where it's like, oh, I get to go in the water and I get to be nice and warm and it's like a big warm hug. Oh, people who love showers, it's just really a replacement for warm hugs that they never got as a child. No, that's not me. I am not like that. I am like, ugh, I am sitting here playing my favorite video game ever, League of Legends, and now I have to go disrupt my routine and go take a shower, which involves putting down the bath mat, taking off my clothes, turning on the shower to get it nice and toasty, putting my towel up on the shower so I can access it when I'm done, and then it involves also being cold after the shower, which also involves me doing my hair, conditioner, fucking shampoo, and that's fucking annoying because then I have to sit in the shower, let the conditioner sit on my hair for like 2 to 3 minutes, which is really fucking boring. And then, oh yeah, I also have to use fucking body wash on my body. Ugh. It's annoying. I still do it, but it's annoying. And it's like, I have to talk myself into doing it. I have to like, be like, okay, we're just gonna get it done. And mind you, of course, once I'm inside the shower, it's like, it's fine. I still try to not spend too much time in the shower because it's boring as fuck. Like, as soon as that 2 minutes is up for my conditioner, I'm like, we're fucking out of here. In fact, sometimes I actually don't condition in the shower. I do leave-in conditioner. So you get out of the shower, you towel dry your hair, and then you put leave-in conditioner in the ends of it. And then that way, I don't have to wait for my conditioner in the fucking shower. I can just put it on and go back to what I was doing. How sick is that? Oh my god. Oh my god. So, yeah, anyway, that's like something that I unfortunately really grapple with. Yeah. And of course, after the shower you feel great, and don't get me wrong, if you let your hair get like greasy and gross and you're like, I have to have a shower, I have to have a shower, like it gets to a point where your hair feels so gross that you feel gross and you can tell that it is just a gross situation. Oh my god. Terrible. But that's another nice thing about the elliptical, to take it back to the exercise thing. Since I've been doing the elliptical, it's like you have to shower right after doing that, and it feels so good. And it's like, after exercising, it's like I don't even think about it. I don't even have to second guess it. It's just part of the exercise routine. Exercise, right to the shower, and I don't think about it. I don't think about it negatively at all. It's like wonderful. So there's some interesting psyche for you. Okay, they may refuse, withdraw, shut down, or escape in order to avoid these things. Helpful approaches include addressing sensory issues, helping individuals adjust to new situations. God, I sound like a cat. Using visuals or social stories. This sounds like for children, though. Giving plenty of notice about any changes or accepting that avoiding some things is perfectly acceptable. Oh my god, I have dyslexia. With PDA, these same types of demands or situations may be avoided for the same reasons. However, pathological demand avoidance is all-encompassing and has some unique aspects. Many everyday demands are avoided simply because they are demands. Some people explain it's the expectation from someone else or yourself, which leads to a feeling of lack of control. Then anxiety increases and panic can set in. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So, everyday demands. What are everyday demands in life? Well, I guess like cooking could be an everyday demand. I don't like cooking for other people. I really don't like cooking for other people because that's exactly it. I feel like there's an expectation there. Not the expectation that you are to be cooking, but that the food is like edible and stuff, and I can get anxious about that because like I can cook. I'm able to. I've been cooking since I was like 14, I think. 14? 15? Yeah, I've been cooking since then, and I've learned a lot of different things, but it was always way easier to cook for myself than it was to cook for other people. Yeah. Lack of control. Yeah, I feel like I can get that way with the dishes. So, something about like our house is that there's a roster, and the dishes, who's on dish duty will change every time someone's completed it. It'll go to the next person. And when it's my dish day, I don't like people pointing that out. I don't like people pointing out, oh, it's your dish day, oh, you have to do the dishes. Like, I absolutely fucking loathe that kind of behavior. Thank God it doesn't really happen. Oh god, I hate it. Even just thinking about it is making me feel miserable. because sometimes the dishes can pile up pretty quickly, and then some people will look at the dishes and be like, oh ho ho ho, I'm so glad it's not my dish day. And then I look and it's my dish day and I'm like, fuck, don't remind me. So I've got into this habit where I do the dishes very quickly. Like, the same day that it's my dish day, I will dry things and put them away, like ASAP. So that shit isn't just sitting on the counter. And because I empty out the dishwasher as soon as it's done running, I'd probably give it a few hours actually to dry, because if you leave the door open, it can dry for a little bit. And as soon as it's done drying, I put it all away. So that makes it so the next time I go to do the dishes, it's so much easier, because if you have to dry and put stuff away and then load everything and clean stuff like pots and pans all in one session, oh my god, don't talk to me about that. So I've got a new system down that's pretty good, and now that I do it pretty much immediately, I never have anyone going like, hey, can you do the dishes? Like, I need to cook and I need these certain things. I don't know why, it's just like that kind of thing just like pisses me off. And again, it's not really anyone's fault, because it's a perfectly reasonable request, right? Perfectly reasonable. And I think maybe in some cases it felt like it was a reflection of myself, maybe. Maybe it was a thing where I was like, oh shit, if someone's having to ask me to do the dishes, that means I've probably left it way too long, and I've probably been way too lazy with it too. And I think maybe there's like an internalized shame with that or something. I don't know. But yeah, I hate it when people ask me to do things. Pretty much. So. Okay, well, okay. In addition, there can be an irrational quality to the avoidance. For instance, a seemingly dramatic reaction to a tiny request. Yep, that's me. Or the feeling of hunger inexplicably stopping someone from being able to eat. What? Okay, I've never heard of that before. Interesting. I can't say for sure if I've experienced that. The avoidance can vary depending on an individual's capacity for demands at the time, their level of anxiety, their overall health, well-being, or the environment, people, places, and things. The PDA profile is also a spectrum and presents differently in different people. Some individuals may have more externalized or active presentation where, demand avoidance may be overt, physical, aggressive, or controlling. Others have more internalized or passive presentations. Ooh. Where demands may be resisted more quietly, anxiety internalized, and difficulties are masked. Me? Many have variable presentation depending on other factors, like how well they are managing at the time, their environment, setting, and age, and so on. Yeah, I mean, I feel like... Sheesh. I'd like to say that I don't have externalized expression of that, but... if I'm being honest, it's probably a lot of both. PDA demand avoidance isn't a choice and is lifelong, seen in infants, and remains part of the experience into old age. Ugh. Man, when I'm like 80 and I have dementia, nurses are gonna hate to see me coming. Me and my 80-year-old dementia demand avoidance. Okay. Okay, so the understanding and helpful approaches in finding self-coping and coping strategies that can become more manageable. So what are demands? Demands in PDA are many and cumulative. It can be helpful to think about some of the different types of demands. Okay. Laws, social rules, wants, needs, self-imposed demands, signs. Ooh, self-imposed demands. Okay, recipes, agendas, rotas. What the fuck is a rota? Verbal instructions, pecking order, desires, expectations, visual instructions, promises, rules, menus, orders, timetables. Okay. Star charts? Creating this image was a demand. Wow. Thank you, Julie Daunt, for sharing that image. Implied demands, that's interesting. Alright, let's first look at direct demands. Direct demands are requests or questions made by other people or situations, such as put your shoes on, sit here and wait, pay this bill, or would you like a drink? Ooh, asking people questions are like demands, sort of? Huh. Okay. In addition to these more obvious direct demands, there's a whole raft of indirect and internal demands, including time. Time is an additional demand on top of the demand itself. Like it is going to take up a lot of time or something. It demands your time. Plans. Advanced planning may lead to increased anxiety as the time date for the plan nears, but equally the intolerance of uncertainty that is a key factor in PDA may make spur-of-the-moment activities tricky. Oh my god. No way. Oh shit, man. Sorry, I'm moving my water bottle, my hot water bottle. Dude, this is me. Okay. I will say that I love plans. Like, if I plan an outing, I prefer to know where we're gonna meet, what time we're gonna meet, yada yada yada. I mean, that's how you do anything in life, right? But what I've noticed with my partner is that he seems to just prefer to wing it, and then on a weekend he'll be like, do you want to do this? And then I'll be like, well, I had no idea we were gonna do this. The fuck? Yeah, I have a hard time tolerating uncertainty, and spur-of-the-moment activities are tricky for me. Yeah, I think I've gotten better. I think I try to encourage myself to go and do things in spur of the moment. Questions. The expectation of being required to respond to a direct question can be disabling. Yeah, I would say sometimes I like it when people ask me questions about myself, but then at the same time, I'll always default to a very milquetoast answer. Like, if someone asks me, how was your day? I just go, my day was fine. I had a fine day. It was good. And that's it. Decisions. Sometimes knowing a decision has to be made makes it a demand. Options paralysis may set in if there are too many possibilities. Oh no! Hey guys, turns out all your girlfriends, they just have PDA. Hey babe, what do you want for dinner? Get burgers, we get pizza, we can get Thai. Woo. Internal bodily demands such as thirst or needing the bathroom. Okay. Thoughts, desires, internal feelings. Uncertainty. Research from Newcastle University showed that intolerance to uncertainty is a significant factor in PDA, with PDA autistics needing to know and feel in control of what's going on. That resonates with me highly. Praise. This carries the implied expectation that the action will be carried out again or improved on next time, so may not achieve the positive reinforcement that being intended. Okay, I don't know about that. Transitions. The demand to stop and switch what you're doing, and also the uncertainty around what may come next. Yeah. Expectations from others and of yourself. And then we have sensory overload. Other people's energy and presence. Ooh. Yeah, I don't like cooking or cleaning when other people are around. I much prefer to do those things by myself. Much prefer. Yeah. And to be honest, I think Caleb is the same. Things we want to do, like hobbies, seeing friends, or special occasions. So not just the things we might not want to do, like housework and homework. Yes! Oh my god, yes. Here's the thing. I value my friendships 1000%. I value them. I value my friendships a lot. One thing that I feel like is a struggle though is the fact that I am fine just sitting home and doing nothing. I don't see going outside and going shopping with people or going to like restaurants and shit. I just don't see that as like a necessity, but the problem is that I feel like a lot of people I've known are very much like the going out type of people. And for me, I get super anxious about the uncertainty of like things when it comes to going out. I think that you have to, man. Yeah, I'm really bad at that stuff. And, you know, I was actually going to therapy about this for a bit, talking about like my anxiety when it came to like just doing things in general, going outside to hang out with people. You know, when you have to take like public transport and stuff, you have to time everything so that you can get there on time. Yeah. I mean, there's so much more to it. It's like you have to be out in public around people. I haven't had a look. Public transport fucking sucks because there's like dangerous people on public transport. And it's not even a joke because I feel like in Australia we have such a big problem with so much stuff. And it'd just be easier if like I could drive, I guess. Oh, I'm working on it. I don't know, but it's not just that, it's also like the going out aspect. I think that it's like the showering. Once I do it, like once I'm out and about, it's actually quite nice. I think yeah, I get the anxiety over like the uncertainty of it. And then I feel like I get the demands of, it's like the demand of this is what I have to do to maintain my friendships. And you know, I still, at the end of the day, I see that, you know, I will do the work. I will put in the work to maintain that aspect of the friendship. It's not completely enjoyable for me. And I just don't know if that's ever going to be something that I can solve. Do you know what I mean? Isn't that like a weird thing to say? I don't particularly like going outside, but I will do it if someone important to me asks that of me. And while I enjoy hanging out with them in person, again, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I don't know if they'll ever change about me. Wow. Okay. Special occasions? So it's like, or even the things we want to do, like, yeah, I feel like with like hobbies, I feel sometimes guilty when I don't do enough drawing. I feel like kind of exhausted sometimes thinking about it. I'll like try to get out one of my physical drawing pads and I'll try to sketch, and it feels like there's a, I don't know, I feel like, yeah. I don't know if I'm interpreting this the right way though, maybe I'm not. There are demands within demands, the smaller implied demands within large demands. For example, within the demand of going to the cinema are the demands of remaining seated, responding appropriately, sitting next to other people you don't know, and being quiet. Oh my god. Those are the implied demands. I was just talking about that with showering. There's the well, there is the implied demand that you will take off your clothes, get a fresh set of clothes, but then you have to choose what clothes you're gonna wear, and are they clean clothes? Because I have this problem where if I've worn clothes outside once, then they're considered dirty clothes. I'll still wear them again, maybe like the next day, but I'll sit them in a specific spot because of the germs. Yeah. That's me. I don't sit on public. If I can avoid it, I won't sit on like public benches and stuff. When choosing what to wear outside, I have these really nice sort of like dolphin shorts that I like to wear around the house. Because they're super comfortable. They have pockets, which is super handy. We all love pockets, right? But they work as like a homeware thing for comfy homeware stuff. Or they work as like a comfy thing to wear outside when you go shopping and stuff. But in my mind, if I go shopping in them, they're now dirty. So then when I get home and I want to sit around in them, I feel gross. Okay, wow, demand avoidance. We have been talking about this for a long time. Uh-oh, there are many I ought to demands daily life. Getting up, washing, brushing teeth, getting dressed, eating, cooking, chores, learning, working, sleeping. Learning. Oh, okay, learning's in there. You know what? I actually feel like I'm kind of learning something about myself here. This is awesome. So demands will be perceived differently by different individuals, and response to demands may also be variable. But once you begin to look at life in terms of demands, you can see how all-pervasive they are. Yes. And how difficult things might be for someone with a PDA profile. What demand avoidant approaches might you see? Okay, I feel like I don't want to read all this. Is it video? Increasing demands, increasing anxiety, reducing tolerance, losing control. Oh, and then we get into like the panic thing. And then we have escalation can be very rapid, especially if pushed. Calm, able, distraction, excuses, procrastination. Physical incapacitation, withdrawal into fantasy, reducing meaningful conversation. Oh. Okay, well, I'll probably read the rest of this later, but hey, if you're interested in autistic demand avoidance, check out pdasociety.org.uk. Dude, as soon as I read, what demand avoidant approaches might you see with PDA? It's like, you know they're British. You just know it. Alright, so, wow, we just talked about autistic demand avoidance. For like 30 minutes. Okay. Man, can I have a little rant about Baldurs Gate 3 for a moment? Okay, so, like many people I'm finding, I got to Act 3 in Baldurs Gate 3. I think it's Act 3. And I am struggling with it. Let's look it up. Baldurs Gate 3, Act 3. I'm struggling. I'm struggling because Act 3 is in this fucking city. And it's really fucking annoying because this city is so big and expansive. There's the lower city, there's the front of the gate city part, there's the city outside of Baldurs Gate, Riverton or something, and then you have the sewers, and then you have the fact that the sewers connect to like fucking the lower city, but the sewers also connect to the weird castle thing in the front city. I'm calling it the front city because I have no fucking clue what else it's called. And then the quest is go meet the Archduke. And I'm not gonna lie, I am there's an achievement tied to that mission. And so I'm like constantly moving around, unsure when the conditions for this achievement are apparent. I'm not gonna spoil it too much. So there's that. But it's so expansive, and there's a lot of NPCs who have names, but you don't actually do anything with them. And then exploring the front city, where the gate first is, I don't know how else to call it, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a fucking name. It probably does. I found this parchment that to me is a quest. And so, but the problem is this hasn't triggered like an actual quest to come up for me. And I'm being vague on purpose because again, I don't want to spoil anything. And so my problem now is that I'm obsessively reading everything I find in the city because I don't know when something will pop up that I should be reading that I just decided to lazily go, I'm not going to read it. Because if I didn't read this thing, I wouldn't know about this quest, that it's like a secret quest, I think. It's like because I think it's also tied to an achievement. So it's like subtle. And so I think I'm constantly struggling in Act 3, excuse me, with like what to do. I'm constantly struggling because it feels like there's all these different directions at once. You know, it's kind of like demanding. I feel like there's a lot of demands, there's a lot of implied demands, and there's a lot of trying to figure out the rest of the implied demands. So I think Baldurs Gate 3 Act 3 is really triggering my autistic demand avoidance. So there we go. Autistic demand avoidance in Baldurs Gate 3. Anyway, I'm just really struggling with it. I'm not having that great of a time, sadly, because another thing that I'm getting kind of bored because I keep reading everything. And, you know, I've tried to make it so that this playthrough, my first playthrough, I'm reading all the books that I come across. I'm engaging with the story a lot, but the problem is there's a brand new book in like every single room you go to. Seriously, this game has like 1 million fucking books to read, and some of them are like a page long. And when I get met with a long page of just like stuff, it actually makes me feel like I want to avoid it. Because I think I've created this demand within myself that I have to read this. And I'm not gonna lie, I found a lot of reading the books to be helpful in understanding more of like the situations that are happening, because I do feel like it's all very intentionally created. Like there's a lot of intention behind what they've written in the books, but it's exhausting to read. So yeah, that's what I'm going through at the moment. And yeah, Act 3 just has so many books in it, so much to read, and then I feel like so much of like the architecture just doesn't feel clear to me. Yeah, it doesn't feel clear to me. Some of it is just mighty confusing. But yeah, and you know, like with all the other chapters and all the other areas of the game, it all felt pretty like straightforward. It all felt as though I knew what the mission was, I knew the main places I needed to go, and now it just feels like there's all these side things I could do, all these little different options just crammed into one city, and I don't like that. I wish it was more spread out. That's what I'm saying. But I think they had constraints with like the game, so that's probably why it's all in one area. Anyway, that's my Baldur's Gate rant. What can I say? I am struggling. Okay, and without further ado, we're going to talk about Jenna Marbles, because I just found this out. The real reason, potentially, allegedly, maybe, why she left. And the reason why I have to say all those things is it because it has to do with Barstool Sports. Now, you might have seen Barstool Sports pop up on your TikTok, your YouTubes. I think they have a podcast as well. They're in the podcasting space. Dave Portnoy and all that jazz. And basically, Barstool Sports has been around for a very long time, and Dave Portnoy multiple times talks about how he feels as though he is the one who discovered Jenna Marbles, because she was working in a tanning salon, and then he scouted her and went, "Hey you, I'm gonna hire you to work for me." And it was in the media, and Jenna herself, I think, has said that she said that she always wanted to get into like some sort of media or do something different, and she saw this as an opportunity to break into something like that. My point of view is I think Dave Portnoy is just looking for hot chicks to put on his newspaper, because Barstool Sports was a magazine, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Barstool Sport. Yeah, so I went on a little bit of a... Jesus Christ. The first issue of Barstool Sports. Oh, thanks, Reddit. Thank you, Reddit. Deleted by user. Alright, well, at least the picture is still up. What the fuck? Okay. So I'm trying to open the image, but Reddit's doing this thing. Ugh, really? I have to look at that through that? Fuck that. Fuck that. There we go. Sorry, I'm having a bit of a boomer moment. So yeah, Barstool Sports used to be like a 2003. Oh my god, this was their first issue. Hooters 2003 football headquarters. Wow. Hooters of Boston. Awesome. To be honest, I feel like there's like a Venn diagram when it comes to like sports and like women. Can a Venn diagram have two circles? I don't know. To be honest, I think I've forgotten how Venn diagrams work. It's been quite a few years since I needed to do one. But there's something in there. A Venn diagram about sports, women, and the exploitation of female bodies. Barstool Sports local smoke show of the day. It's like, it's a very sexual publication, I would say. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm like, if you look up Barstool Sports magazine, it'll come up with a lot of publications where it's just hot tan women in bikinis. And so I really don't think it's that hard to assume that this Dave dude hired Jenna Marbles because he saw, you know, we all know what Jenna Marbles looked like back in the early days. She was a tan baddie. She's always been a baddie, don't get me wrong. But she was definitely the type to be on a front cover like that, if that makes sense. And so there's this rhetoric going around, or that has been going around, about Barstool being like a sexist company. The way Jenna left Barstool publication, apparently her publication section of like her work with them ended in 2011, but allegedly the actual contract between her and Barstool Sports ended in 2020 when she left the internet. And so a lot of people speculated that she left the internet because of a cancellation. However, people are now thinking, oh, she left because her contract at Barstool was finally up, so then she was no longer obligated to actually do any, you know, stuff, right? Any more stuff for them. So let's have a look at this TikTok video, because this is what spurred my questioning. Okay, let's watch this.
Oh, you don't like Barstool now because they're stealing from content creators and getting all that money and they don't have to do any work? Wait till you find out they're the reason we don't have Jenna Marbles anymore. So for all my youngins out there, because I'm old, Jenna Marbles was a part of Barstool. So she was a contracted content creator, and especially back in the the beginning when like you could just now start to like monetize YouTube. I will never forget when they first started, because I used to make A&Bs and there was a whole situation. I was a content creator who made A&Bs and got offered like to monetize, and then the next day my account got banned.
I don't know what A&Bs are, to be honest. What is content creation A&Bs? A&Bs? A&B? A&Bs? A&Bs? What the fuck is an A&Bs? Hold on.
You could just now start to like monetize YouTube. I will never forget when they first started, because I used to make A&Bs and there was a whole situation.
A&Bs. Content creation A&Bs. Is it to do with... Hold on. ChatGPT. This woman is talking about YouTube content creation and early monetization. Spelled that wrong. But now she is talking about creators making AMBs, or it's A and Bs. What does this mean? Let's see if we can figure it out. Okay, the woman is talking about YouTube content creating AMBs. She might be referring to ambient videos. I don't think ChatGPT can figure this one out. AMVs? AMVs? Anime music videos? No. Okay. ChatGPT can't figure it out. Hi, Baba. Do you want to go out? Okay, let's go back to the video.
I was a content creator who made AMVs and got offered like a
AMVs
to monetize, and then the next day my account got banned because copyright and all that stuff is monetization, right? Anyways, I watched so many amazing content creators who were small, and then they would blow up really big because they were signing contracts with companies like this. There was a whole page on Barstools for Jenna Marbles. Like, they were contracted through her. That is why she had the fancy logo all of a sudden. Like, the beginning part where the squeak squeak and her in, like, the football outfit. Yeah, it's because she was part of Barstool. But the reason why her content just slowly, like, downfalled, right? Like, it was amazing. And even her last few videos are still pretty good. But you can tell if you watched her over time, she was losing her creative freedom because of this company. She has this contract that is absolutely just controlling. So many creators back then, we were so new to monetization. Everybody was so new to monetizing. You know, we have like sponsors and stuff like that, and you get called a sellout if you use it. But then the whole like ad and like true monetization was screwing a lot of people over because they didn't know how this worked. We were new to it. We were, you know, these content creators are making these accounts, trying to figure out what they're supposed to be doing. They don't have any, there's no like history to go off of, like actors. Okay, if you look at the history of
yeah, so I think another thing about this is that we know that a lot of these contracts that early YouTubers signed, it's so like famously there were so many media companies that actually like really fucking scammed or took advantage of these young content creators who didn't know any better. You know, it's like it's ripe for the picking, isn't it? If you think about it, it's completely like sharks are in the water and you don't realize that you're bait, I guess. Because like these content creators can make so much money off of doing YouTube, but then they get approached by these media companies that say, oh, we'll you know, give us a share of your profits or something and we'll help propel you further into your career or something. And they end up just being totally useless. And then a lot of these people, I think, unfortunately signed contracts not realizing what they meant. And, you know, there's a lot of problems with this because I think nowadays you'll see Barstool Sports, you'll see these Lad Bible, for instance, these TikTok pages where essentially all they do, in my opinion, is they find viral videos, they send these viral videos a message being like, hey, we saw your video, we would love to post it, just sign away your legal rights to this video and the rest of your content. That's the fine print, is that they will steal the rest of your shit. Okay, maybe not steal, sorry, oops. These contracts are famously misleading. They take advantage of you, they take advantage of the fact that you probably can't afford legal counsel, they use legal jargon to confuse you and control you, I'd say. And, you know, I'm not gonna say every place does this, because I don't know, but what I do know is we've had a lot of creators come out and talk about things that they signed and how it fucked them. And so that's why the advice, don't just sign stuff, read stuff before you sign it. That's why that's so important. Don't get pressured into signing shit. That's another thing. Like, I think a lot of the time they'll also give you money up front to take your viral video. And unfortunately for a lot of people, that money up front could be very helpful. But you go for a short-term profit and you lose out on the long term. Anyway, let's continue.
Any kind of performance art, like actors and artists and stuff like that. TLC, for example. TLC got completely ripped off in a contract, and that doesn't happen as often nowadays because we learned from those old situations, like when stuff was up and rising, these people getting screwed over. Just like with the child actors and actresses thing. You want to know why we suddenly have content creators who are moving out of California because California now has a law that makes it so you have to pay your kids if they're in your videos, like so much percentage. That is because we learned from child actors who actually had those special bank accounts for a while. But before that, child actors were just having their parents basically turn them into human slaves. They were making them do all of this work and taking all of their paycheck.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with a lot of content creators, especially ones who worked for companies like Barstool. They lost their creative freedom. They have all these like rights and stuff that they either cannot get back, or if they can find a way to get back, it's going to cost them basically all of the revenue that they got because that company was taking a large percentage of it anyways. Jenna Marbles getting semi-canceled. She wasn't even like really truly canceled, but her getting canceled gave her an opportunity to run. It gave her an opportunity to get out of that situation because now she had the option to just, not make content anymore. Oh my gosh, cancel culture is so crazy. But for the rest of her life, a lot of her content and stuff is still going to be owned by Barstool. And there's so many creators.
Yeah, so I think this might be the key part of it, is that if it's true that her contract with Barstool ended in 2020 due to the cancellation because they didn't want to be associated with like her, let's be real. I think there was some like problematic stuff back in like the early videos that she did like once and then was done. Again, it's not for me to accept her apology because I'm not part of the demographic that was, offended. So I'm not going to speak on that part of it. But I'm just saying, I think if her contract ended in 2020, then that might mean her rights to her channel might have been connected to that. Because it's possible that, yeah, her channel was connected to Barstool, allegedly, maybe. Like, so I think that would have been a reason for her to leave, is like, oh, well, I'm a problem now. A brand problem for Barstool. Although, in my opinion, my personal opinion, I never knew about this. I watched Jenna Marbles from like, oh my god, how to trick people into thinking you're good looking. That was one of her like breakout videos. I think it got like 50 million views or something. I never knew that she had anything to do with Barstool. Genuinely, Jenna genuinely never knew that. Oh my god.
Out there like that. There's one from a certain page that is still popular. They've renamed themselves to something that starts with a D that used to start with a C and an F. That I loved. Like C, and then the second word came with F. So if you know what I don't get sued by them. There's one content creator I absolutely loved. And I noticed like other creators on that like channel were getting spin-offs and all this other stuff, but this guy is the one that like really made that channel funny. He had that perfect blend of like mix of dark humor but without crossing the line, right?
Oh my god, a similar situation happened to College Humor. Yeah, they're now what are they now, College Dropout or something? Dropout? Whoa, yeah, you had me confused because humor doesn't start with an F. I don't get it. I don't get it. Sam Reich is now the CEO and owner of Dropout? Jeez, Sam Reich? That's a fucking rough name. Reich? Your last name is Reich? Is that real? Dude. I mean, yeah, there was also that thing with Smosh. Smosh had a problem too. Like, all these people had problems. Okay. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah, Jenna did a Draw My Life in 2014 where she talks about why she left Barstool. She had creative differences or whatever with Dave, the Portnoy guy. So basically, she was a writer for Barstool, and it's true, her contract for publication finished in 2011 for Barstool. She wanted to do more videos, and Dave essentially was like, Jenna, it's a business. You don't understand business. You can't do videos. We need you to be drawing Stool Lala, the female side of fucking Barstool. Fuck's sake. Anyway, I'm getting.
And then I was like, why did he leave? Like, why? You know, he left, but then he never made any content ever again. And I'm later seeing a post, like years later on Reddit. I'm gonna see if I can try to find this again because it's been a while, where he was talking about the reason why he had never came back is because the contract he had with them, he could not go off and make his own creation. And you'll notice if you go onto that particular page and you watch their old videos from like 10, 15 years ago, a lot of the creators who were hilarious and amazing and left never made any more social media themselves because those contracts were just gluing them in and screwing these creators over. You still see some of it today, though, too, with these contracts can be really sketchy. But the good news is it's not quite as bad because we now have had these contracts for a while. We've had this time go past. Lawyers are starting to learn this lingo, and like these companies can't be quite as sleazy because people are hiring lawyers before they sign these contracts. But we still kind of see it. I know there's one creator in particular in the UK area, you know, not in the US, but over in Europe, that I know for a fact is in a contract with a company, and she had some like bad stuff. It wasn't even something she did. It was something another creator under that company had done. And she had to defend them. And you can tell she's so physically uncomfortable. It's also, a lot of people are talking about her content's been going downhill. Like, it's still good, but it's just not as good. And you can pinpoint exactly when she signed that contract because her content shift just slowly started. Because if they make you do it too quickly, it'll be obvious. So they try to do that shift, and it's horrible. It really is. It's horrible. But yeah, that's why channels like Barstool and stuff I don't support. I have never supported because they ruin shit. They steal. That's all they're doing is stealing. They have enough money to have like an editing team and a marketing team and a PR team, so it appeals to a lot of people. But they have no real talent, so they buy the talent. Barstools is why we don't have Jenna Marbles anymore. You know what's even sadder is the fact that if a bunch of people start pointing this out, depending on how Jenna Marbles' contract is set up, they could literally force her to make a video saying, oh no, I quit of my own accord. It was not anything to do with Barstools because of how badly these contracts are set up. Like I said, that one.
Yeah, I mean, geez. Look, I think for me, Jenna Marbles quit YouTube on my birthday. It was very sad. I was looking forward to her video all week, like many people. But I do understand that. I think, yeah, by the final sort of like year leading up, or like couple years leading up, maybe, it did seem like her heart wasn't super into it anymore. She was tired. She famously did that video where she just took a nap. Understandable. She was tired. She was exhausted. And I feel like there was always this sliver of hope that maybe she was just burnt out, so she just left because of that. And there was a sliver of hope of like maybe one day she'll turn around and be like, you know what, I miss this. You know what, I've had my rest. The people need me, you know, like Batman. The world has gone to shit. People need Jenna Marbles back. There was a hope in my heart for that to happen. And I think that, unfortunately, this new, I don't know, speculation has led me to believe, like, yep, you know what? She is gone for good. She is. And that really sucks, because I really enjoyed her content. That really, really sucks. Yeah. We'll never have anyone like her ever again. To be honest. So, ugh. Anyway, Kylie Jenner lipstick on my pussy lips said, "Let's be real. Jenna cancelled herself. She wanted to leave, and she was just looking for an excuse to quit YouTube." Which I feel like is, yeah. Again, I think that was a good excuse to maybe end the contract. Who knows the details of it? I don't know where she's got this information from, by the way, where it ended in 2020. She said you can Google it, and it's like, yeah, Hold on, we've got more to watch. There's more to go through.
That one content creator on here, whenever she was getting some backlash for somebody else and people being like, oh my gosh, there's no way she approved this. And she literally had to come on and you say she approved it when she definitely didn't. You could tell that was like a hostage situation, basically. It kind of reminds me of that like Alabama Barker Kanye situation where he's making that video being like, oh, I'm not part of this. I just approved the sample. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, she's kind of rambling, not gonna lie, but I think she makes some good points. And she had another video that I think that's the second of what I was looking for, so... Oh fuck, how many has she posted since? Wait, did she delete a video? Oh. I think she deleted the other video. No way. What's this?
So Barstool and other companies are really
Oh, I think she deleted it and she had to re-upload it.
Problematic and are harming creators. They have been for a very long time, and these horrible management companies are still being scummy and stuff, but it was a lot worse back in the day, and we're slowly finally now learning, which is why laws like the one being passed in California are being passed so that we can protect kids and other people also, like with these other laws related to these scummy companies that are putting people in these contracts. And even though Jenna Marbles is just one of the examples I put in this video, Barstool, since we're specifically talking about it, I'm going to talk about how, like, even though she left production in 2011, if you just read the fine print, she actually still had a lot of her content and they still get like a percentage to this day. That she was still like actively within that contract for a very long time, even though she wasn't actively working for them in the production team in 2011. But once again, I'm going to mention several other examples of how scummy these companies are, and that's the main focus of this video, is to talk about how scummy these companies are. Jenna Marbles did do some stuff that was problematic. She did go with the cancel culture, like slid into just took that as an escape. You could tell she was burnt out. She lost a lot of her creative freedom at that point, and you could see she was just exhausted. But it was a great way for her to escape the scummy stuff that was already happening with Barstool and these predatory management companies. Once again, please be careful with these management companies, especially the new creators. Please have your contracts looked over, because there's so many that back an OG YouTube that got screwed over because of these contracts. Jenna Marbles has never done anything wrong ever. It is one.
Okay, I think that's why she deleted the video, because people thought she was people thought that she was defending the cancelled stuff. Okay, and that's why I said I'm not speaking on that part of things. I'm just saying that is a thing. Okay, well, yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting. It's sad that she deleted that video. What's this other video?
Bestie, buckle up. We have another former GameStop.
I've got to start downloading these videos, man. Just so I can keep a hold of them in case this shit happens. Well, let's go to favorites. Are we sure it's not in my favorites? Oh yeah, so have a look at this. OMG. This is fucking weird. So this is from Barstool Sports History Lesson. Dave Portnoy confronts ex-employee Jenna Marbles, 2015. I finally got my chance to confront Jenna Marbles, El Presidente, which is what his name is on Twitter. Watch this.
Do you really think you're here without me? You're in a fucking tanning salon. I treated you like a sister. Like a legitimate sister. Every move you made, I'm like, Dave gives you your blessing. Dave thinks you should do this. Dave thinks you should do that. How do you thank me? You wrote that blog on School of Law. That blog I gave you. And you trash it. Now you're a wax statue and you're so. Still no thank you. We could have been friends. Didn't have to end this one. They don't know. They're used to just doing that.
Yeah, so this is obviously, you know, a Jenna Marbles wax figure, I guess. A little bit creepy to look at. Oh my god. This whole interaction, you can't even call it a fucking interaction, because it's really just quite pathetic, to be honest. I never heard of Barstool. I never knew really anything about them. I blocked them because, again, you can tell right off the face of it. You know exactly what kind of company they are. You know exactly what kind of shit they they involve themselves in and what their methods are. And like, it's the same. I blocked Lad Bible because you look at Lad Bible, you know exactly what the fuck they're about, you know exactly what you're dealing with. I don't support companies that pay for viral content and force, well, not force, but entice people into signing contracts that are misleading potentially, in my opinion. I want to support an individual creator, and so I'd much rather get the viral moment from that person's page than from a curated media page, which is what this shit is. And so this is so weird because he's like, he's going up to her. Oh my god, it's like, this is what he wants to do. This is him living out his fantasy, putting Jenna Marbles in her place. Now you could say like, oh, it's a joke, he's just joking around, you know, Dave Portnoy is just a jokester, but it's like, what is the joke? The joke is that he's acting like a narcissistic manager who's like, I made you, you wouldn't be anything without me. It's like, it's giving jealous. It's giving balding jealousy. Look at him, he's balding at the fucking back. He's balding at the back of his dome. He must have got some really good fucking plugs put in. Because you look at him now and his hair is like full head of hair. Looking thin in the back here, Dave. Like, it's just poor taste. And then you can say, oh, it's a joke, but then I have like 3 other videos of him talking about how he made her. You know, he's getting up in her face. You know, I know it's a wax figure, but let's just say it's Jenna. He's getting up in her face, being like, you're in a tanning salon. As if like the way he says it is as though like that's pathetic. You were a tanning salon chick, and then I came and I scouted you. Okay, Dave.
Where some of your like, oh,
Dave invented Jenna Marbles?
OG YouTubers
that I used to watch.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of like Jenna Marbles growing up.
You know, like I invented her.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
What do you mean?
I mean, I found her.
Really? I had no idea.
She worked for Barstool. So like
Really?
all her early videos were when she worked for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no
Yep.
idea. What a fun fact.
What a fun fact. Oh my god.
I've just been around the internet since like the Stone Age, so there's a lot of little like Stone
That's
Age
so
things.
cool.
But yeah, like how to trick a guy into thinking you're good looking. All her
that was my
early.
favorite.
I can't believe he's trying to take fucking credit for that. He's just like casually name dropping like one of Jenna's biggest breakout moments and being like, yeah, we put it on our website, or we wanted to put it on our website. It's pretty good. Pretty fucking sick.
Favorite video.
Yeah, that was the one that like blew her up. That was the original. Yeah, so she was like working for us when that happened.
Okay. So again, and then there's
From
this. Barstool Unnamed. What the fuck is this? No one has a better history of blowing up female talent than Barstool. From Jenna Marbles and Stool Lala, Alex Cooper and Call Her Daddy to Brianna Chicken Fry.
From Marbles to Alex to Bree, look at what we do with female stars. That's not an accident. We are a great launching pad. So if you're a young talent, this is a good spot to be.
Oh, what's that? It sounds like he's being like, yo, guys, if you're young talent, come to us at Barstool. We'll elevate you. We'll elevate you. We totally won't take advantage of you. Allegedly. I mean, look, again, there's a lot of stuff that's up in the air, a lot that hasn't been said by both parties, so of course you can make your speculations just like I'm speculating here, all in my own opinion. I just think that him constantly bringing up how he made Jenna Marbles is just fucking weird. It's I don't know. Frankly, I think he should not speak about her. Yeah. So in Jenna's drawing her life video, she talked about how she had problems with Dave, which honestly I'm not surprised because look at the way he just talks. Seems like kind of like a fuckhead. I would say that I'm pretty good when it comes to vibes. And from the get-go, I've just never vibed with this guy. There's something really fucking off about him, but I don't want to piss off all the Barstool sports fans because I know there's a lot of them. Let's have a look. Actually, you know, let's have a look. Barstool Unnamed. What is this? What is this? Okay, I think it's a podcast or something. God. Yep. It's all just Dave Portnoy and some other guy in a hat. Whatever. I'm gonna get off this now. Yeah, so that's Jenna Marbles and the real reason she left. Oh my god, I went way over time today. Yeah, so sorry there wasn't any episode last week. We had a public holiday on Monday, and then I only actually had 2 days of the week to actually like stream, so I focused on doing that instead of doing the podcast. And I didn't mention anything about it, so sorry about that. But that is this week's episode. The real reason why Jenna Marbles left the internet. Potentially, maybe. My speculation. Allegedly. Alright. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. Let's do some shit this week, guys. Let's fucking demand avoidance. Let's start meeting our demands in a controlled and positive way. Yeah, so look, I'll see you next week. I don't know what the topic will be next week. I actually really enjoyed doing like a rambly sesh. So I'll leave that here. Yeah, I'll leave that here. Alright, I'll see you later. Bye. See you next week, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. So, goodbye!